Have you ever seen a skeleton walking? No? Can you imagine seeing a bunch of dry bones on the ground, suddenly starting to move? Imagine old, dusty bones that don't even look like they belong to anyone, suddenly coming together, like they are. Coming back to life. Wait, this isn't a made-up story. This really happened to a man named Ezekiel. And you're about to hear one of the most amazing moments in the Bible. Ezekiel was a prophet. That means he listened to God's voice and spoke to people on God's behalf. But Ezekiel lived during a really sad time. God's people, the Israelites, had disobeyed God many times. So as a consequence, they were taken far away to a land called Babylon. There, they lived like prisoners. They were sad, tired, and missed their home. It felt like they had lost all hope. They thought, God has left us. He's not going to help us anymore. But God hadn't forgotten them. And He never forgets anyone, not you, not me. Then one day, God did something incredible. He took Ezekiel, in a vision, to a strange place. Suddenly, Ezekiel was standing in a huge valley, a wide, dry, silent field, and it was full of bones. Bones everywhere. Skulls, ribs, legs, arms, spines, scattered all over the ground. Dry bones, very, very dry. Then God asked something unusual. Son of man, can these bones live again? Ezekiel looked around. Everything was so dry, so dead. But he trusted God. So he answered, Lord, only you know. Then God said, prophesy. Speak to these bones. Tell them, dry bones, hear the word of the Lord. Even though it sounded crazy, Ezekiel obeyed. He began to speak to the bones in the name of the Lord, and then, something out of this world began to happen, suddenly. Rat-tat-tat-tat. A loud noise filled the valley. The bones started to rattle. One by one. A leg bone found a foot. A hand bone found an arm. The skull found the spine. The bones started to come together, like a giant puzzle. Then, sinews began to grow over the bones. Then muscles, then skin covered everything. Now they looked like real people, but there was one problem. They were just lying there. Like statues. They had bodies, but no life. They didn't breathe. They didn't move. Then God said, prophesy again. Speak to the wind. Tell it to come from the four directions and breathe into these bodies, so they may live. So Ezekiel obeyed again. He spoke. And the wind came. God's spirit entered those bodies. And they began to breathe. They stood up. 1, 2, hundreds, thousands. It was a mighty army. An army that came from dry bones. Whoa. Can you imagine that? But why did God show all of this to Ezekiel? God explained, these bones are my people. They say, we are dry. We've lost all hope. We are dead. But I will open their graves. I will give them life again. I will put my spirit in them, and they will live. Then they will know that I am the Lord. You know what that means? It means that even when everything looks lost, God can still do something new. Even when you feel like there's no way out, God can change everything. Ezekiel trusted God. He obeyed even when it didn't make sense. Talk to bones? Speak to the wind? But he did what God said. And because of that, he saw a miracle right in front of him. This story isn't just about bones or skeletons. It's about the power of God. A God who can bring life where there was only death. A God who breathes His Spirit into the tired, the sad, and the afraid. Sometimes, we feel like those bones too. Tired. Weak. Like we have no strength left inside, but you know what God does? He breathes new life into us, when we pray, when we listen to His word, when we obey, even when we don't understand. God works in our hearts. He brings hope where there was sadness. He makes something brand new grow inside us. God still speaks. He still acts. And He wants to do that in your life too. Do you believe God still does miracles? That He can give you strength, courage, and joy? Then trust Him. Just like Ezekiel did, God asked, "Can the dead live again?" And the answer is yes. When God speaks, even dry bones come back to life. Keep that truth in your heart. And when you feel discouraged, remember, God can renew you. The Bible says in Ezekiel 37 verse 14, "I will put my spirit in you, and you will live." That's a promise from God. And everything God promises, He keeps. Now I have a challenge for you. This week, every day, take a little time just for God. Read the Bible. Pray. Talk to God. Ask Him, "Lord, breathe your Spirit into me. Fill my heart with your life." You'll see that God answers, because He loves you. And He's always ready to renew everything inside you. And don't forget, if you liked this story, if you learned something new, give this video a like, subscribe to our channel, Bible for Little Kids, and share it with your friends. There are so many other kids who need to hear that God can bring new life. See you in the next video. And remember, with God, even dry bones can live again.